Alright, so we got Busky over here saying that Tolkien wrote about the hobbits, and he was referring to the gentlefolk of the English sires, who don't realize the horrors that takes place every day. They were able to live their lives in peace and tranquility, but only because they were protected by the hard men of Gondor. What happened to the nice man who was brutally murdered while walking his dog will happen to all of England if the tide of illegal immigration is not turned. It is time for the English to ally with the hard men like Tommy Robinson and fight for their survival, or they shall surely die. Now what's interesting, there's two things, but I want to talk about this, right? You fundamentally do not understand Tolkien's work, right? So we got the right-wing version of media literacy. The hobbits lived their lives in peace because it's an allegory for isolationism, which is the inevitability of the detriment of all, not because they were protected by men. You do not understand art at all. Right, so basically, no nation should ever allow for isolationism. Like, that never happened in human history. And if you do have, like, a couple of Amish people living in a Greenland somewhere, they are the ones that are destroying the fabric of society. My fucking God, yes. The only reasonable take, the only correct way to live your life is to have safetyism, right? To have nothing outside the state, everything within the state, and every person a cog in the machine. Okay, fine, whatever. The interesting thing, though, is that I can't actually see what happened. I don't know what Elon Musk is talking about because due to local laws, we are temporarily restricting access to this type of content until X estimates my age, right? So, in other words, this is the type of legislation that, right-wingers like Academic Agent have supported, right? Like they provided the legitimacy for this because you don't want the 16-year-old little Billy of seeing a titty. Now, take into account, I am not from the United Kingdom. Like, I'm from the outside, but even I'm not allowed to see it because the United Kingdom government, apparently, should get to dominate the internet. And every single person that says ban pornography, this is what they're asking for. So I get to assume that maybe this is not so serious, you know? Like, maybe Elon Musk is talking mad shit, and he's linking me to some titty, right? Because the law is designed to protect children from seeing pornography. It's not designed to do anything else. And the law is definitely supported by people on the left and on the right in the United Kingdom. And so this is a nothing burger. Still, like to me, it's absolutely mind-blowing to realize that there is evidence of what these ban pornography laws do. Like we actually get to see it in real time. There's no slippery slope here. There's no, like, if we go down this road in 5 years. No, like, we can literally see it in real time. And yet you have people in America that constantly advocate for more of this. And you have people in Australia that advocate for this. And you have people in Canada that advocate for this. And if you tell them to go fuck themselves, they call you a gooner. They say that you're obsessed with pornography. Like, they do it on purpose. They will mischaracterize your arguments. They will pretend that this isn't happening, that, you know, like the idea that genuine news articles are being suppressed by using child protection legislation right now, right? And they will say, no, it's like nothing. You just want to see porn. You just want to cum. But yeah, I mean, I guess, like, you know, I'm not going to come to this. Regarding what Elon Musk is saying, that there's going to be a civil war in the United Kingdom. I don't think so. And I don't think so because I genuinely believe that Keir Starmer is God. You know, you have all these right-wingers simping for Christianity and Jesus this, Jesus that. Jesus didn't have access to digital ID. Jesus didn't have access to AI that can monitor your social media interaction. Jesus didn't have access to CCTV footage monitored by automated systems. Jesus didn't have access to people's bank accounts, right? Now, sure, you can say, well, yeah, he did when he got into heaven, but like up until then, you know? Keir Starmer has access to all of this shit. And I have seen just how fast protests in 2025 just poof, vanish. because they're using the Chinese system. Like, look at China. It's still going, right? The government hasn't collapsed. You don't have, like, the government declaring bankruptcy. You don't have, like, government institutions being burned down, do you? No, like, the state is still functioning. Obviously, you know, it has its own problems, sure, right? But it's not a failed state, last time I checked. And they're using the exact same system that's being used by the United Kingdom right now. And when you do have a protest, it stops before it happens. They literally just, you know, like, look at the two-tier Kier protest. What did they do? They allowed it to happen, and during the middle of the night or during the days of early morning, the police was just waiting in front of the houses of the leaders, of the people that were organizing. They arrested a couple of ladies and elderly people in order to put the fear of God into the population. Sorry, again, like, God isn't real, Keir Starmer is. To put the fear of Keir Starmer into the population. This is what you fucking get, you know? And so, like, all these people on Twitter that are, like, I get the leftists, you know? I get the leftists because they simp for governments, they like government control. I get them. But when I see the Christians, it's like, oh, yes, we need the Christian nationalism. We need to live in a society by Christian morals. Okay, so you don't want me to worship God. You want me to worship the state, right? And so I do admit, like, yes, you're right. Like, the state is actually powerful, scary, and can do shit. And especially when it has a left-wing person in charge, like Keir Starmer, right? Like an actual fucking Chad that knows how to crack down on people. And then he gets to do whatever he fucking wants. So, I hope that people are going to wake the fuck up and they're going to realize that this is not a left-wing or right-wing issue. This is a welfare and safetyism issue. The concept of safetyism is the cancer. The idea that the government should become the nanny and guarantee safety for citizens. And if you're going to consider that watching a titty online is actual harm, and the only way to solve this harm is not through parental controls or to stop watching it, but is to actually ask the government for help, then the government is more than willing to help you and is more than willing of suppressing shit from the mass fucking platform. Like, I can't see what Elon Musk is tweeting on his fucking platform. I'm not going to dox myself. I'm not a fucking retard. You know, I'm not going to show my ID to a company that I don't know and I don't trust just to see, like, some news article. No, get fucked then. You know, like, I can still be the Hobbit. You know, this is the thing that they're complaining about, atomized individuals. Yeah, okay, I'll tell you about myself and individuals that are atomized like me. We can actually make do. You know, like, this is the advantage of having critical thinking and being self-sustaining. If shit goes down, I can just leave the country. I don't have a slave ideology to tell me that I need to stay here. If things go bad, I can just go somewhere else when it's good. And I can keep repeating that. You know, I can handle myself wherever I need to go. Like, that's fine. So it's the people that want to stay together that have an issue. And the people that want to stay together seem to support things like this. And it's like, what can I do? You know, I can tell them, no, it's bad to support shit like this. And if they do it anyway, why would I stay? And by the way, the idea of leaving, like, I also noticed, and I talked to Sargon of Akkad over this, like, I can't see eye to eye with him on the issue. But I kept explaining, look, what your nation is doing isn't really revolutionary. Like, they're just making feudalism again. Right? Like, what is feudalism? Well, you have the nobility that gains their legitimacy from God, and then you have the peasantry, and the peasantry are there to be exploited. Like, that's your job. You go on a noble's plantation, and you're to work and get exploited and shut the fuck up, right? And the nobility can bring mercenaries that they paid for, usually with your money, right? Because, like, that's how the nobles get cash. Like, they take your money and then they pay for mercenaries, and they treat the mercenaries differently, by the way. Like, historically, tyrant kings, they treated the foreigner far better than their own peasants. Because the peasant can rebel, the foreigner doesn't. And so, what's happening in England right now, you have, like, the two-tier society, they call it, right? Like, you have the nobility, which gets their legitimacy from the AI, from the algorithm, from the social media, from the technocracy, from the people ban porn, right? That's the legitimacy that they get. And then people like Sargon of Akkad are the peasantry. And the immigrants are the mercenaries that they keep importing. Now, what is the solution to this system? I mean, technically you're supposed to rise up, right? But like, what if you can't? What if God is actually real, and if you rise up, God genuinely smites you? Like, it can happen, right? If you're looking at a medieval society that functions as intended, the king is anointed by God, right? So if you rise up against the king, God smites you. And so in this situation, if God is social media, AI, and the technocracy, yeah, you rise up, you get fucked. And so, like, what is the other solution? Because there has to be another one, right? The other solution is to leave the fucking plantation. And I kept telling this to Sargon. It's like, look, you're not just an average Joe. You have a business there. Like, you're pumping hundreds of thousands, if not millions of pounds into the state that they use that money in order to oppress you. Like, the ID is expensive, right? The digital ID, it costs money. The AIs cost money. Like, all the structure that's designed to oppress people is expensive. And they get their money from people like you. Now, if you leave, you can still do everything you're doing now, right? Like, you can still vote in the elections, you can still support political candidates, you can still continue raising awareness and having the Lotus Eaters, but you can do it from Poland. Like, it's a 1 hour flight, you know? You can do it from France, you can do it from, like, any other European country. Like, what the fuck is the difference? In 2025, if you're sitting in your city, right? If you're in Swindon, or if you go to Frankfurt, like, it's literally the same shit, right? You take a plane, and you're there within an hour. Like, I'm not telling him to go to the United States. No, that's fleeing. It's like, no, that's not funding the people that hate you. Like, by sitting in the UK, you're funding people that hate you. Just leave the United Kingdom, stop funding them. And it's not running away. It's like, if there is a conflict, right, then the government has less resources to fight that conflict. It's not fucking rocket science. But again, I can't understand this idea because I would atomize the individual, I suppose. I don't function like that. Like, to me, if the government was to genuinely oppress me and I feel that I'm not represented, I'll fucking leave. And by the way, this is what my ancestors did, and that's why there was a wall on Eastern Berlin. It was to prevent people from leaving. I think that home is where your family is, right? And I think, like, every man's duty is to provide what's best for his family. And if you don't feel like you're being represented in a place and it's bad for your family, get the fuck out. You know, take your family with you and get the fuck out. But it is what it is. Most people don't think like me. Again, I'm the atomized individual. Let me know what you guys think. I'm genuinely curious about this. And I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.